Windows Server 2022, welcome back everybody. I'm Prakash Pradhan, your trainer for this entire series. In today's topic, as you can see over here, we're going to talk about one of the important tools that's been provided by the Microsoft in order to manage your entire network infrastructure. Of course, that's a Windows Admin Center. So first, let me tell you the main purpose behind the development of this Windows Admin Center. Okay, now the main purpose for the development of this, or this tool that's been provided by the Microsoft to us is simply to help us to manage our infrastructure staying in a one PC actually. That means rather than jumping from one server to the next server with the help of any third-party remote app, or it might be a remote control or any other third-party software, now Microsoft has given us with the simple one tool that we call Windows Admin Center. This is the latest one I'm using, 2103, but if you are using the older version of operating system or the older, the edition of this Admin Center, that is also available over the cloud. But right now at this moment, since we are talking about the server 2022, so I thought of using the latest one that's been offered by the Microsoft. Now what you need to understand over here before you use this Admin Center to manage is that this is neither a role or the feature that you can find in a server manager. That means this is your one tool. That tool has to be downloaded from the Microsoft.com. So we'll have to go to the Microsoft.com from the genuine site. Let's download from there only, and then we are going to continue the installation and the working process of this Windows Admin Center. But before that, guys, I'd like to tell you that Admin Center cannot be installed in a domain controller. This one is simply used in any, let's say, Windows 10 or even the member server, but the computer where the domain controller is being promoted, there you will not be able to install this Admin Center. Of course, I'm going to show you by trying simply to install in your domain controller as well, but of course it's not going to allow us. Now first, in order to install this Windows Admin Center, we'll be going to the Microsoft.com, for example. Okay, now let's say if I go first to the Google, okay, I would like to show you from the scratch. So let's say Windows Admin Center, let's say over here. Okay, of course it's going to land us to the Microsoft.com page only, and I suggest you all to download from the genuine page only. Okay, now after you click this Windows Admin Center, this is the page that the Microsoft will land you over here. Microsoft.com, it's a download from for the Windows Admin Center. Now it's simply you click and it's going to download. Of course it depends upon the speed or the amount of bandwidth that you have. Okay, in our case, in order to make this video more shorter, I have actually already downloaded this Windows Admin Center. So after you download, you can continue the installation process. Okay, now before we go for the installation, I would like to tell you also another one thing that you need to understand. Which are the server or the operating system that you'll be able to manage with the help of this Windows Admin Center in our case. Okay, now let's say it can be used to manage Windows Server 2008 R2, 12 R2, 16, 19, and of course the Server 2022 also can be easily managed with the help of this Windows Admin Center 2103. Okay, now let's go with the installation process. Okay, this is my client operating system. That means it is a member of the server. Now you see, if you notice, our server is over here. This is the domain controller. Okay, it's a domain controller, and I was saying that in domain controller it will not allow you to actually install the Windows Admin Center. Actually it's a tool, as I've already mentioned over here. So this tool will not be allowed to install in your domain controller. So if I try to install over here, obviously it's not gonna allow us. Okay, now before it gets displayed over here, I'd like to show you actually first trying that to install this Windows Admin Center in a testing environment. So of course it's a domain controller and it's not going to allow us, guys. So let's try that first. Okay, so if I go to somewhere in the C drive, I guess I've already copied and pasted. See, this is the Windows Admin Center 2103. So let's try to install it, because since I've already mentioned that this cannot be installed in a domain controller. Okay, this is my domain controller. Okay, we are using wiretech.com from the very first day of for the tutorial of Windows Server 2019. So it's the same server. Okay, now it will check the prerequisite, or it's going to make it clear that it's not a server where the domain controller is installed actually. So after that, it's going to tell you that domain controller is installed over here and the Windows Admin Center cannot be installed here, because I want you to witness this practically. So that's why I'm trying to install in the domain controller as well. So after that, we are going to go to the client PC and we'll continue with the rest of the installation process. So see, it's saying you this software is not supported on domain controller. So it's done. Okay, now we'll go to the member. Okay, now member, it can be your member server or it can be your client operating system as well. But over here in my case, I have come to this Windows 10 and I'm going to install this Windows Admin Center in a Windows 10, and via Windows 10 with the help of this Windows Admin Center, now we are going to see how we can be able to manage the entire network infrastructure. Okay, so let it install, then we'll continue. Okay, let's proceed now with the installation process. You can install it with the local admin right as well. Okay. And for the installation of this Windows Admin Center, of course, it is going to work via your browser. So there would be a matter, the role that we need to have for your certificate also. But of course, we're going to use the self-signed certificate over here. Okay. So let's continue now. So we are going to use required and optional diagnostic data or required diagnostic data. The option is up to you. So let's proceed with the first one only. Now I don't want to use the Microsoft updates at this moment. See guys, I suggest you to choose the first one since I'm in a lab environment. So I'm going to use this one so that this video can be more shorter. So let's install it. And this is the port number. If you use the previous version of your Windows Admin Center, okay, the port number is different. That means the by default is going to use 443. That's a secure socket. Okay, that means I'm going to say here HTTPS. Of course, over here also we're going to use with the help of this HTTPS only. But over here in this server 2022, if I use this version of your 2103 of your admin center, so it's gonna give you this port number that's been selected by default. So if you want to change it over here, it's up to you. But since we're in a lab environment, I suggest to go for the same one. So let it install now. So after we install this, I'll show you how to add the servers so that you can manage your server from the one even your client operating system as well. And we can also add or remove the rules from your any infrastructure server from this client operating system with the help of this Windows Admin Center. It's a tool, okay, as I've already mentioned, it's a tool. So from this tool you will be easily able to manage the roles of your server. Okay, you can be able to manage some sort of your firewall also. Okay, you can also manage all the sharing resources also. That means staying in this PC or staying in this operating system with the help of this admin center, you'll be able to share the folders or manage the shared folders from your domain controller as well. Of course, these servers has to be added over here in your Windows Admin Center tool. So let it install first, then I'm going to show you how to utilize this. Okay, now finally, as you can see, the installation is done. Okay, and we are going to use obviously the self-signed certificate over here for us. Okay, now we are going to open for the first time that how it looks when we open the Windows Admin Center in order to manage your infrastructure. You can also install, that means I mean to say, you can also open this Windows Admin Center from the start. As you can see, it's going to be listed in your app list. That means whatever that you have installed right now, this tool will get listed over here in your program list. I mean to say that. See, Windows Admin Center, you simply click it and it's going to open the page of your Windows Admin Center via browser. So let's try to open it again. Since it was the first installation done in our environment, so it might take few seconds more to open it. So bear with me, have patience, then this page will get displayed. Obviously in the first installation it's going to take a time. Okay, as you can see that Windows Administrator for the first time it's been opened over here. Now I'm going to show you how to add actually rest of the computers in your network with the help of this Windows Admin. So I would like to change the IP address of this PC since I had gone to actually cloud, because this PC is currently having a different range of IP. Okay, so in order to add your infrastructure in this network with the help of this Windows Admin Center, I believe that you do understand it should be in the same network. Okay, so I'm going to change my IP that was supposed to be in my domain environment. So just a minute. Okay, this is my domain IP. Okay, now what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you how to add the infrastructure. That means how to add your servers with the help of this Windows Admin Center. Okay, so let it configure this fully first. Okay, it's almost done. Now, okay, let's try to ping to our server before we add it. Okay, so let's ping viatic.com. Oh, sorry, spelling went wrong. So ping. Okay, this is the exact spelling. Should reply with 200. Okay, congratulations, it's done. Okay, so let's not waste our time. So let's go back to this Windows Admin Center. Now I'm going to show you how to add it. Okay, so let's go to add, and then we are not going to add Windows 10 PC or any other this cluster, as we have seen last time that we can also work for the clusters and all. Of course, since this is the first video of this Windows Admin Center and we're going to focus on the basic things. So let's add it the server. So after clicking this add a server, you'll have to write the name of the server. Okay, that means you'll have to provide the name of that server, that the infrastructure that you'd like to add it over here. So in my case, so I'm going to write over here. Okay, let's write over here. This was updated last time, so that's why it's doing this. So let's add our server first. Okay, now let's add it since my system was updated, so that's why it did that. Okay, we are going to add a server. Now after adding a server, I'm going to provide the name of my server. So I'm going to provide the fully qualified domain name in my case. So that is dc.viatic.com is the fully qualified name. So it's going to allow me to add now. So let's add it. So the fully qualified domain name in our case is dc.viatic.com. Now it will display notice over here. Okay, the message that server found. Okay, so it is search, it's searching actually. Now we are going to add it. It might take few more seconds. Okay, congratulations, found. Now add it. Now after this, we are going to see what are the other things that can be done with the help of this Windows Admin Center. You can connect your server via remote desktop. You can access the resources, or you can manage the rules or the services that's been installed over here actually. So let's open it. Now it's connecting. You might be wondering why it didn't ask for the authentication. The main reason for this is that I have logged in as a domain administrator authentication. So that's why it's not asking me anything over here. Now, if you notice over here, these are the rules and the services that is being installed in our infrastructure. That means the server that I have currently connected. Now, after that, if you see over here, These are the roles or the services or feature whatever is installed in our domain that can be managed easily. So I'd like to show you over here that you can remotely also connect your server, okay, with the help of this Windows Admin Center. It should be somewhere at the bottom. See, it's a remote desktop, okay, it's a remote desktop. You can just connect it, or you can also, you know, add or remove the roles as well over here with the help of this Admin Center. So let's go to roles, okay. Over here, roles and the features, okay, you can add it also actually, okay, it's easy to use it. So let it display first. It's going to make a list of all the roles of the feature that you can install or uninstall, okay, whatever that you would like to do in your infrastructure. So it's a bit easy actually. It's a kind of your, you know, if you have worked with the IPAM, if you remember, with the IPAM also the multiple tasks can be done, managing your DNS, managing your IP address, entire thing with the one console. It's a kind of that. See, these all are the roles that we have over here. So if you like to add it, if you any kind of role, you can simply click it and install over here. Okay, now another thing I'd like to show you over here. Now since this is a lab environment, okay, we are not going to install anything over here. You can also manage the resources, that means the shared folders and files also. See over here, files and file sharing. See, it's going to make a list of all the files that's been shared over here. Let it make list. So it's going to load all the files that's been shared. So by the time I would like to take you to the server. So let's go to the server over here, and I'm going to see that how many files and the folders are shared actually. So that can be managed with the help of your admin center. So let it open. So I'm going to show you some files are shared over there actually. So by the time, let's see what are the things it is able to display over here. See, these are the resources that's been shared from our server. So there is one folder called new share, I think, or first share, that I like to show you from the server as well. Okay, so this is that server. So if I go over here, it's going to show that in this server, it is the main domain. From here the files are shared actually, so that you can see from here. It's going to make a list of the files of the folder that's been shared actually. See, these all are shared, and you can download it also. This one I was just talking about, the first share name, one folder is there. Inside this folder some of the files and subfolders are shared actually. See, these all are the things, and this can be managed with the help of this your admin center. Let it load now. By the time, let's go to the server over here, and I'm going to show you to my volume that the folder that we have seen just now is actually shared from this operating system. So by the time, let's see if it has made a list. See, okay, let's go to our server. It's this server, this console. Now if I see over here from the C drive, there's a folder called there's one folder, okay, just a second, we open the wrong console over here. Let's go to the server. This is the server, okay. Now over here, if I show you my infrastructure, main infrastructure is this one. If I go to C, first share, this is my folder actually. If I create one file over here, it's going to get listed over there also, okay. Let's say admin center, for example. Now if I go to admin center over here in Windows 10 that we have installed, it will get listed in that files and folder list immediately, okay. This is the folder. See, Windows Admin Center that we created. That means this way you can easily manage the resources also, even the shared resources. So if you'd like to download any of the files, let's say using this Windows Admin Center, even that can be done. So in order to download that, first you select the file that you'd like to download and go to these three dots over here. Then it will make a list for download. See, if I click download, it's going to download easily file. Okay, it's saying it's a zip one. Okay, no problem. See, now the file will get downloaded actually easily. So this way you can easily manage your entire infrastructure with the help of your Windows Admin Center. So there are many things that can be done with the help of this Admin Center. So this was the kind of introduction for your Windows 8 Admin Center. So I do believe it was easy for you all to understand and install and how to manage and all this. If you find it fruitful, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.